Welcome to Metals Investment Forum. It's my great pleasure to welcome back Claudia Tornquist of Kodiak Copper. Welcome, Claudia.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, you've been here for quite a few years. I remember when the first time you hit the big drill hole, that was a lot of excitement. And then a few years passed, you seem to be developing quite well. I saw you recently have a resource estimate came out.
Yes, well, a big milestone for our company after several years of disciplined and systematic exploration, consolidation of the district. We reached that milestone last year in December and came out with a maiden resource, which was very well received by the market. Our share price rallied and we outperformed our peers, which is great to see. And I think the reason that was that case was simply that the market recognized that the resource is very much comparable to existing mines, producing mines, or other successful projects in North America. So this is a really important de-risking milestone. It's a very big difference between saying we think we have a big project and having the numbers to show it.
Absolutely. And then if you compare you versus other company in this space, you seem to be very undervalued, even after the recent rise.
We've rallied a lot. We started last year, you might remember, at below 40 cents, and yesterday we closed at $1.24.
Congratulations.
So we've certainly were able to generate good returns for our shareholders. But if you compare Kodiak's market cap to more advanced peers, I mean, we're now just over 100 million, and comparable companies that are already a year or two ahead of us, who had their maiden resource earlier, or maybe already working on a PEA, those companies like North Isle, Faraday, or Cisco Metals, they trade at 400, 500 and more $million, so multiples of what we are. And that's really the opportunity for our shareholders and for us to catch up as we continue to de-risk the project.
Right, great. And that's a very good summary of your valuation. And as your shareholder, I'm very pleased with the share performance. And I noticed you're still way behind in the valuation versus other players. So hopefully we'll see you move up to 500 million or maybe $1 billion range in the coming years. So tell us, how do we get there? You have an initial resource, right? So what you're planning to do this year and beyond?
Mm-hmm. Well, we had a writer say about our resource, it's a starting gun, not a finish line. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't say it better because really that's what it is. It establishes a baseline and there is lots of potential to grow from there. There are 7 deposits in the resource and every single one of those is open, many in multiple directions. And we have many obvious targets to drill more and grow the resource. So 2026 will be focused on expanding the resource. There's a lot of potential to show that there are many more pounds and many more ounces than what we've demonstrated in the maiden resource.
Okay, great. So when do you plan maybe working on the PEA, something to show what kind of economic return?
Mm-hmm. Well, for this year, our focus will be resource.
Resource, yes.
That's where we can add the most value for our shareholders. And that's really also what the big companies that will ultimately be interested in the project, that's what they want to see. So this year is all about resource growth. A PEA would come after that.
Oh, okay.
But one important angle that I'd also like to highlight is that many companies, they slow down once they have a resource and projects are drilled out and so on. And that's not at all the case for Kodiak. That's really something that I think puts us apart. In addition to the 7 deposits that we now have within the resource, we have at current count some 20 plus targets, exploration targets, and plenty of potential to discover more mineralized zones. And that's really the exploration sizzle in addition to the reserves.
Oh, great. So basically you have a lot of upside from what you have. This is only the first initial step. And I've been to your project. I know how big it is. So it can be potentially much bigger. You are hinting, right? We'll see. We'll see from the drilling. So great. So what do investors? There's a lot of people new to the story. What do they expect to hear from you this year?
Well, we have some near-term news on catalysts. We have some soil results that will be essentially more about the targets that we have. We have some metallurgy. You might remember last year we had some very positive first metallurgy results, also an important part of de-risking the project. And we'll build on that, and we'll have more metallurgy results. And then we're drilling, and we're planning a big drill program this year, and we'll have lots of drill results over the year. So it should be a very news-rich and very active.
News-rich and active 2026. So hopefully your start will go to the next level after all these reels. Very good. Tell us maybe your management team, your background, and why investors want to put money, in Kodiak.
Management team is a very important part of the equation, and the founder and chairman of Kodiak is very well known, Chris Taylor, and has a fantastic track record with our sister company, Great Bear, who really generated multi-baggers for investors. And Chris is a very creative, out-of-the-box thinking geologist. That's very much what made Great Bear a success, and it's also a very big part of Kodiak's success. So Chris really very important part of the puzzle. So my background is more the business and capital market side. I was for many years with Rio Tinto, and for the last 15 in the junior sector. And between us, Chris and I are very complementary.
Wow, excellent.
We have what it takes to take the company and the project forward successfully.
Wow, very good, very good. So with you and then there's so many training program, coming and a lot of results, and we should have a lot of news for 2026. So you have any other word to tell maybe new investors? So what kind of most exciting things coming for this year from your company?
Well, what excites me most is just looking at the valuation gap between us and the companies that are a year or two ahead, between our 100 million and in some cases the 500 million plus valuation, because that really is the opportunity for our shareholders. And just by continuing what we do, de-risking the project, we will be able to catch up. I think we have a very good opportunity to catch up with those companies that are more advanced, that are valued much more. And that's what we will be working on, and that's what excites me very much.
Well, great. Obviously, the rising copper price didn't hurt at all. So hopefully, with the rising tide, all the copper company got more, get a higher valuation, but you would get even more because you are so undervalued right now.
That's certainly how I would look at it.
All right, great. Nice talking to you, Claudia, and I hope to hear great news from you throughout the year.
Thank you, Chen.